Hello everybody, welcome to the Sunday afternoon sessions of the Global Vegfest 2, December the 19th, 2021. You can see all of these talks, panels and recordings in our handy little event programme, hosted on our vegfest.co.uk website, or of course on our YouTube channel, various other social media, Twitter, Facebook and such like. And there's some really fabulous talks and panels we've had all weekend online. That have been covering all sorts of aspects of veganism and plant-based diets. And of course, no online or live event would be complete without at least several cookery demos. Food, of course, being such an important part of our advocacy and our life, and just generally everything, pretty much, is such an essential aspect. And particularly seasonally now, it's great to have a few tips up your sleeve to produce those extra exotic and extremely enticing little festive treats and delights. And so I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined over this course of the afternoon. We're going to have 3 cookery demos. The first one's going to be a live one, and this is from our very good friends at V for Life. I'd like to bring in Alex Connell here to solo. Alex, thanks for joining us once more. Alex Connell, the roving chef. And I have to say, Alex, you're looking like the headgear reminds me of a late 80s rave or something, actually. There's a real sort of, how's things going, Alan?
Very well, thank you, Tim. I've been amused at the hat being a rave association. And Manchester was big in the early 90s, where it's still, popular with the music scene. But yeah, there was a big rave scene in Manchester, the Hacienda. But I can't say that I ever wore a chef's hat during those heady days. But it's lovely to be here, Tim.
Great. Oh, Alex, well, look, I'm going to hand straight over to you, except just say how very grateful we are, and what a wonderful body of work that you and your team have been doing. I mean, V for Life, people are not familiar, works specifically really with elderly people in care homes in particular, and of course, therefore, the last 2 years significantly challenged by COVID, of course. But I think just beginning to come out, do some live events again. But we always love working with you. And I will also just throw in at this point, we're back to live events. So 2022, we've announced our plans. I've been looking forward, hopefully, we'll be doing some live demos. But for now, tell us, what are we in for? This is a season of treats, I believe.
Okay, so we've got 3 lovely dishes I want to show you how to make. Now I am going to make a couple of tiny little amends to the recipes, just because the way I enjoy eating it. If you follow the recipe to the letter, you won't go far wrong at all. But visit our website, so Vegetarian for Life, V for Life, and you'll find all of these recipes. I'm going to show you how to make a wonderful soup. I'm not going to start with that one. I'm going to do that in the middle. So I'm going to make a beautiful soup, which is carrot, orange, and ginger soup. And I think it's a bit posh. It's something that's just a little I quite like it. And then the main dish, which is perfect for a Christmas lunch or Sunday dinner, is a wonderful Wellington, which is what I'm going to start off with now. And I'm also going to squeeze in another beautiful dish, which is mahancha, fantastic North Africa, I think it's North African pastry dish with phyllo pastry, and it's filled with nuts and cherries and all sorts of lovely things. It really is delicious. So without further ado, let's start this cooking up. So this cooker's going to make a couple of beeps. I do apologise, and I'll go through the ingredients as I go along. So first thing, a little splash of oil in the pan. And into that, I've got some, it's pretty all chopped up, ready to go. I've got some red onions, brown onions, white onions. Doesn't really matter what you want to use, but I would say do cook them for at least 5 minutes. You're going to get yourself a lot more flavour into this dish, but also any of the dishes that you prepare. It just kind of adds that extra bit of flavour. So what else are we going to put into this wonderful centerpiece? We've got mushrooms. Now, I know not everyone is a fan of mushrooms, so I will make some suggestions about things that you can use instead of mushrooms. But it really does suit them. We've also got some diced carrots over here. I've got some roasted and ground nuts. Now, Any nuts are fine with this. It really is up to you. You could use peanuts, you could use pecans, whatever you fancy. But do roast them first of all, and then put them in a grinder or chop them up as fine as you like. By roasting them, you just get that extra bit of flavour into them. So what I've done is just put them in the oven, roast them for a bit, and then with the Vitamix or whatever it is, just blend them, and it just kind of chops them down really, really quite finely. But I've also got little kind of chunks as well, so that's brilliant. I've also got some breadcrumbs. Now this dish can be gluten-free. Obviously, I've got some breadcrumbs here, so you need some gluten-free breadcrumbs, and this is going to help to stick the middle bit together. But with the pastry on the outside, you need to get gluten-free pastry, which you can pre-made, ready-rolled gluten-free pastry, and it will work just a treat. Now, to give this extra flavour, I've got here garlic, mixed herbs, and my favourite spice of all, cumin. If I can find a way of just squeezing a little bit of cumin into a dish, I will do that. My partner faced, oh, you put cumin in it again? Yes, I have. Not in a recipe, but I think it works really well. So I've got some of that, and I've got plenty of garlic. Now, also, I've got some lemon juice. Do put lemon juice in if you've got some. If you've not got it, it's not the end of the world, but it does add that extra bit. I've also got some tomato puree, some cranberry sauce. If you're going to have a cranberry sauce at Christmas, then you'll have a jar of it. If you're going to use red currant jelly, that's going to work just as well. And finally, just double check, it is finally, yes, I've also got in here some Henderson's Relish. Now, Henderson's Relish is a really lovely alternative to the Worcestershire sauce, which has, or can have fish in it, but this one doesn't. So my onions are now, hopefully you can see those. I do apologise about this beep. Every time I lift it up to show you, it tells me I've lifted it up to show you. So thanks for that, cooker. There we go. So my onions are now nice and brown. I don't want to spend too much time cooking these, but if I was doing this in a bit more time, I would cook them a bit longer. So in we go with the mushrooms. So plenty of mushrooms. Now I did say if you're not a fan of mushrooms, you can put something else in, and of course you can. You can put the carrots in while I'm chatting. So the mushrooms really are quite a good thing to put in this. They've got lots of flavour, they've got lots of texture, and they've also got some moisture, which is going to be nice. But if you're not a fan of mushrooms, then maybe you could put in some roasted peppers, you could put in some grated potato, you could put sweet potato in there, you could put in courgettes. All sorts of things will work well in this Wellington. It really, you can play around with it. So these need to cook down a little bit, and I want to get some of the moisture out of that. So just to kind of speed it along, I'm going to pop in my Henderson's Relish and let that do its own thing. So during the introduction, Tim was saying I work for V for Life. Now, we support older vegetarians and vegans. So those that are over 50, we do a lot of work with people that are in care homes. We support chefs. Have a look at our website. We've got loads of information on recipes, on nutrition. We've got 1,500 care homes signed up for best practice on our UK list. All sorts of things on there. If you're in the UK, we've got a pen pal scheme as well. Loads of other things on there too, and all these recipes are on there. So have a look, and you can find all those things and a lot more. So I'm going to kind of direct you over there. Now back to the recipe. So my onions, my mushrooms are now starting to cook down, which is beautiful. The smell is gorgeous. So okay. I can put in my garlic. I don't want to put the garlic in too soon because it has a tendency to burn. And I've got all those lovely mixed spices, and of course the cumin, which I shall put in at every and any opportunity. Now have a look at in your cupboard. If you've got a spice mix you've been wanting to use up, then just pop it in. If you've got some chutney, pop it in. It really is one of those dishes that you can adapt it to suit your preference as you want. Okay, right, let's get these other bits in. So we've got the cranberry sauce. In we go with that. We've also got some tomato puree. You can put ketchup in there if you prefer. I kind of use the the tomato puree. I think it works a bit better, but ketchup will work. And I just want to distribute this nicely. So the smell of the cumin really is lovely. And welcome to everyone in the UK, but also welcome to everyone that's watching across the globe. Now, and I want to say hello to Max, my mother-in-law, who's watching from Old Trail in Virginia. So hi, Max, and happy Christmas, and we'll see you soon. But anyway, back to this. I wanted to say hello to her. It's nice to do that. So hi, Max. Now this is now cooking beautifully. The mushrooms are now reducing, and there's lots of liquid coming out. You can see that all the steam coming out. So we can put in the rest of our ingredients. We've got our roasted nuts, in we go with that, and the lemon juice, and also those breadcrumbs. So I can actually switch this off now. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. And just give this a bit of a stir. And if it looks a bit dry, it should be. It needs to be sort of claggy. I know claggy isn't a term that you generally associate or want to associate with food, but you want to be able to stick this together in the middle of the pastry roll, so that when you slice it, once it's roasted, once it's baked, it will stand up and sit beautifully with your Christmas dinner or Sunday roast or whatever you're fancying having it. So that should be done. How easy was that? Now, if you want to make this ahead of time, you can freeze it. Works a treat to do that. I've done that many times. I'm just going to put this to one side to let it cool slightly. While I'm doing that, let's get the pastry out. Now, I am cheating a little bit because I've got ready rolled pastry. Do check the brand that it's suitable, but this one certainly is, so I'm happy with that. And this is, it's going to be quiet now once that fan's gone off. I can talk normally. This is a puff pastry. Now, as I say, if you want to do this as a gluten-free version, you can. It does work out really well, but do be careful on that last minute that you're not putting flour on your surface to roll it out, because obviously you're going to get cross-contamination with gluten. So let's just give this a little roll. This is the only hard bit of work. It's not that hard that you need to do. So let's just go this way, turn sideways, bit of an upper body workout. Now, if you're interested in some of the work that we do, we've got lots of publications which you can download for free. So we've got one on nutrition, we've got one on fortification, we've got a vegan baking guide, all sorts of things. So have a look at our website for that. Okay, right, lovely. So the next thing I want to do is just transfer that onto there, like so. And then we can bring back our mixture. Really easy, isn't it? Really easy. In we go on the middle, like so. Now you need to pile it in, because when you press it down, it will get quite a lot smaller. So do press that down. Now ordinarily I let this cool a bit because it is still quite warm. There's our filling, like so. Now, do give your hands a rinse, because if you don't, you're going to get all that stuff that was on your hands on the outside of the pastry, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep it nice and tidy. So all we do is pop that over like so, bring this one over like that, over we go like so, turn it over so that the seal is on the underside, and then all we do is just brush down a little bit of soy milk, and then we can put it into the oven to bake for about 45 minutes or thereabouts, maybe a little bit longer. But when you come to serve it, I've got one prepared earlier, of course I have. What I would do is I would just trim the ends off, because there's lots of pastry here, so there's not much filling right at the end. So just trim that off, and then you should be able to get round about 6 to 8 decent slices. So I'll just put that to one side, and the next thing I want to show you, and I'm not going to make it, I just kind of want to talk through it, because it is such a an easy thing to do, and I don't want to condescend you. You know how to make soups, but I do want you to have a go at this. This is carrot and orange soup and ginger. Now that you can use fresh ginger or you can use powdered ginger. Obviously, I've got some obligatory cumin in there. So all we would do is just to cook off the onions. Forgot what I call that. Onions till they're nice and good. Take your time, relax and take your time. Relax and take your time. In we go with our carrots. In we go with our garlic. Now, one little change that I have added as I've been making it at home over the past few weeks or so is a handful of red lentils. This gives a bit of extra nutrition to the soup, but it also I just like the texture of it. It's really good. And then finally, a little bit of orange zest. I've got stock, vegetable stock, of course, but do check the brand you've got because some vegetable stocks do have derivatives from milk. So do watch that. And that's dead easy. So I'm not going to cook that for you now. I've got one done over there, which I'll bring it in the end. And of course, a little bit of orange juice as well. So that's our lovely little soup. And what I want to show you is this one. So let's move that out of the way. And this is Mahansha. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm confident with the way I say it, but I could be confidently mispronouncing it all these years. So Mahansha is a North African pastry dish. It really is lovely. Now, when you're making it, be aware to make sure that you get a brand that is dairy-free. But some are, some aren't. But don't open it until you're ready to use it because it will dry out. So the filling for this, it's a pastry dish with filling on the outside and all the filling in the middle. Ground almonds. I've also got some ground nuts in there. I've got some orange zest. In we go with that. Little splash of orange juice and some sugar. This really is, it's kind of like a cross between, I don't know, like a mince pie and a baklava. Really is lovely. Here we go with some chopped cherries, some orange marmalade. You could use ginger marmalade, done that before, that's nice, or lime marmalade, that's nice. All those lovely Christmassy spices. So I've got a bit of ginger, I've got some cinnamon and some cloves in there. Here we go. We've got a bit of a mix. And then also some margarine. So what I'm trying to do is to create a nice sticky filling. Now this, it's got such a punch of flavour. It really is wonderful. Now, I'm only going to make a small version of this. I baked one earlier, so you can see what it should look like when it's completely done. But let's just, there we go. So you see how it's kind of like all this sort of sticky loveliness, I'm going to call it. So what I want you to do is just pop that down there, pop that down there. Still my nice scissors. There we go. And this is what we do. And this is the fun bit. So only open your phyllo when you're ready to go because it will dry out so quickly. You can put it underneath a cloth that's got a little bit of water on it, but you do need to be very, very careful because as soon as it starts to get to the air, then it will dry out. Now, I'm only going to do a little one here. What you really should have is use your full side in your kitchen and put about 6 or 7 sheets down, and you just overlap them. Just got one more. There we go. Overlap them by about 5 centimeters, 3 inches in all money. Something like that, okay? So that just overlap. So really you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, thereabouts. So it should be sort of kind of this sort of length. I'm only going to do a little one for you today. Then you take your mixture and then just spread this along the top like so. There we go. And then all we do is take some more of the melted margarine and just give that a bit of a splash around like so. Let's shake that a bit more, a little more neat. Okay, and then carefully fold one edge over and 2 egg yolks over like so. And it's easy if you've got an extra person to help when you do the full version, because it's going to be sort of that sort of length. Then carefully fold your phyllo over like so, and then go down, 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 just shaping it so you get a nice even distribution of the filling. And then, gotta be careful with this or it'll split, and just start to bring it around like so. And you end up with something that looks like a Chelsea bun, if you're familiar with that, but a lot larger. That goes onto a baking tray got over here. So all we do is pop that on there like so. A little bit more margarine on the top, like so. And then that goes to bake in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. The full recipes and methods are on our website, so do have a look at that. And that's called my handshake. This is a little baby version. Right then, let's bring all these lovely goodies together. So we have our soup. So let's have a look at our nice soup. This is the one that Blue Peter style I made earlier. So in we go with our nice soup. The smell from this, it really is lovely. That orange does make such a difference. So there we have our soup, a little bit of garnish and some soy cream on the top like that. Wonderful. And the great thing about this is that you can make this ahead of time, put it in the freezer, chop and change with whatever ingredients you've got in. Really lovely, simple, time-saving, healthy soup to begin with. Okay, so I'll put that to one side for the moment, and let's bring out our star of the show, which is the Wellington. And of course here I've got a little Christmas dinner. So we've got all the trimmings, of course we have. So we've got the stuffing, we've got the cranberry sauce, we've got sprouts, cut out the sprouts. We've got some carrots, we've got some roast potatoes and some peas. So then all we need to do is to take a nice slice from this lovely mushroom Wellington. Let's get a big slice. I'm feeling hungry today. And I should be able to get my little slide underneath there. There we go. Look at that. Let's bring this a bit close. Look at that. That's wonderful, isn't it? I was at Simon Rimmer's restaurant the other day, and he does a very nice mushroom Wellington, but he puts in a little bit of extra oil in there. So truffle oil, which is not on our recipe, but it is quite nice to put in. So if you've got some of that, you may want to add that. And of course, a little bit of gravy on the top. Wonderful. Look at that, perfect main course for Christmas. That looks pretty tasty, doesn't it? So we've got our soup, like so, and of course the mahancha that I baked one the other day, and it's still looking good. So what you'll end up with is something like this. Okay, so it's much larger, and this is kind of Christmassy. It kind of has that sort of feel with all that dried fruit in there and the spices. So what I would recommend with this one is to bring it to the table. Tell your guests and your family, whoever you're dining with, how you made it, and kind of make a bit of a bit of drama, a bit of theatre about it. But then the slicing is when it gets a bit crumbly, because obviously it's phyllo pastry, so it's going to get a bit crunchy. So when you slice it and then you put it on the plate, it doesn't quite look as pretty as it does when you've got this full kind of swirl of pastry and all that lovely goodness. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this very quick cookery demonstration. I'm going to point you in the direction of our website again. We've got lots of resources on there. I've got some just to one side. So we've got nutrition for older vegetarians and vegans, lots of important information in there. You can actually download those for free. Festive Delights, lots of lovely festive goodies in there, and it's getting close to Christmas, so the postage, best probably just going online for that. Vegan baking, there's a recipe in here Sticky toffee pudding, it's absolutely wonderful. Have a go at that. I really would recommend that. And we've also got one food fortification as well for vegans. So this is if you need to fortify your food. So have a look at that. We've got lots of other stuff on there. So do have a quick peek on our website. Well, that brings me to the end of our little cookery demonstration. So if Tim is there, has he been watching? Is he impressed? Of course he is impressed.
He's impressed. I do like the look of all of that. Alex, if you happen to want an invitation to come and cook some Christmas dinner down at Bristol next week, if you're not busy, you'd be very
on Saturday, let me think. I've got something on.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I think I've got something on.
Once you've got that out of the way, whatever it is you've got on, the invitation stands. That looks absolutely amazing. And I love the way you put this on inside such a short time too. It reminds me of my, I used to have a 15-minute Champions League half-time dish that I could make inside the half-time between the Champions League games a few years ago, but I sort of stopped bothering watching the football now. But that was always an issue to manage to get it cooked and done within 15 minutes and served, so you could watch the second half. But
well, I've made this ahead of time. You have to. This is what you see on the camera, but over there,
I think so. Yeah, no, you did. Here's some we made earlier, but it does look really good.
It's to be organised so that on Christmas Day or whenever you're going to have a big meal, that you're not distracted from enjoying the chat and the conversation and listening to the music. You can do all of this ahead of time, so that you can just relax and enjoy time with your friends and family.
Brilliant. And it's also something that goes into care homes, isn't it? It's just what people up and down the country now, you've got chefs in care homes who are equipped with the knowledge to prepare food like this for their residents.
Well, that's part of the work, or a significant part of the work that we do. So we provide training online as well as face-to-face. I know we're kind of coming out of or perhaps going back into sort of the restrictions. But yeah, we provide training to chefs that work in care homes who maybe aren't familiar or just need that extra bit of support to cater for those people who then at that stage of their life then do need that extra bit of care and support. So yeah, I mean it's very important work.
Absolutely, and we know that we've worked with Food for Life for many years, and I hope indeed next year to be welcoming you back to a live event. It seems incongruous we talk about live events just as we're soon almost on the verge of more lockdowns and restrictions, but we plans for 11 months ahead from where we are now. So and of course, V for Life has been the people behind running the mature zone at our live events for a number of years. So I know a lot of visitors to Vegfest at our live events at Olympia are familiar with that area. But the work you do is exceptional, but you've also been very supportive with our online shows. We've had pretty much every online show. I think we've done 7 of them now. Since we've
been very fortunate.
And it seems like I can't believe it's a year ago that we were actually doing this, and you were doing a whole Christmas dinner, and we were looking at that, and that's actually 12 months has vanished.
I know. We'll be here next Christmas, I'm sure, doing something similar, or at least we'll be live, hopefully, in London. That'd be wonderful if we could do that.
Well, we hope so. But thank you very much, and on behalf of all our team here, thank you to all of your team. It's a pleasure to work with you, Alex. And,
thank you.
Your hat is captain. So. I'm sure a few people who used to go to Shoon back in the day would agree with me. But there you go. That's a fabulous way to end. Thanks very much, Alex Connell, V for Life, as first of our first Christmas dinner and seasonal cookery demos. Thanks very much, Alex.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.